Charlie Bravo. Downwind 1,500 feet.
Roger, Charlie Bravo. I have you in sight. Cleared to finals QFE 1001.
Charlie Bravo, finals.
Charlie Bravo, cleared to land. Surface wind 230, 8 to 10 knots.
Charlie Bravo.
Morning, son. Sleep well?
Not very. Caught anyone?
Like a 5,000-piece jigsaw.
5.5 million piece. I love jigsaws.
That's bad luck for the robbers.
What's the overnight score?
A routine procedure is running smoothly.
Nothing in from Thomas about that boy who sprung from the hospital?
No, sir.
Get me, Sergeant Thomas.
Yes,
the
sir.
forensic people are here, sir, out on the Jaguar.
Oh. Your men are from the yard.
Your men, sir? From London?
Craddock. Oh, hello, Tommy. Any joy? Well, did you speak to the mother? I'll hand it over to London and come back here. Yep. Bye.
Excuse me, sir. Celia would like a word with you.
Who's Celia?
The air traffic controllers.
Oh, good. Send him in. Morning. Feeling better? Chloroform's nasty stuff.
Oh, that wasn't me, sir. Mr. Hartford was the air traffic controller on duty yesterday.
Ah, what can I do for you then?
Well, I'd like permission to reopen the airfield again, please.
Yes, but check with me all movements on the airfield.
Yes.
Right. Do you know where I can find Mr. Hartford, please?
Oh, he's at home sick. It's his day off today, anyway.
Where's his house?
Oh, it's quite near, just the other side of the airfield.
Can you show me on the map?
Oh, sure. Just there.
Morning.
No, of course it's no trouble. We've been expecting someone to come.
You're sure your husband's not too bad?
Oh, it's fine today. Let me take your coat. Ah, there you are, darling.
Derek Hartford, Chief Detective Superintendent Craddock, if my telly isn't lying.
Well, the detective always comes first, and I never know why.
The most important part, my dear fellow. We are honoured indeed.
Would you like some coffee,
I
Mr.
would, please.
Craddock?
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Ah, I thought you'd send one of your minions on such a humble mission.
I think you're rather underestimating your importance. After all, you were the senior officer on the airfield at the time of the largest bullion robbery in history.
Now you want to ask me a few questions.
Yes. How are you, by the way?
Oh, passing fair. Not as well as my wife makes out. She was a nurse once, a bit brisk about illness. I think the worst part of it's over now. But when I woke up this morning, my whole body felt like concrete. Everything still tastes like burnt grass.
Nasty.
Now, you'd like me to tell you my story in my own words.
You're doing all my work for me, Mr. Hartford.
Well, I was on duty yesterday. I woke up, had breakfast, left the house at 7:31 precisely, and then I walked over to the control tower and opened up at 7:53. You can check all that in the logbook. The Victor Viscount came in at 8:03 hours, a few minutes late, but everything went according to plan.
You knew about the cargo?
Of course. Oh, yes, all the staff did. They're quite used to that sort of operation. They all know the drill. Be like Dad, keep Mum. Rather dated now. Well, I watched the men unloading through my glasses, and that's about it, really. One moment I was watching, and the next moment I wasn't. That stuff works rather quickly, you know, especially if they're not too fussy about how heavily they lace you with it. Funny thing, when I came round, I imagined I was in the wreckage of a plane on the ground. I'd pranged right into my own bedroom. The ambulance bloke said I was screaming at him all the way over here, trying to tell him my engine had cut out. That happened to me once during the war. I was flying at 18,000 feet. The next thing I knew, I was down to 3,000. Well, when I came to, I was just sitting there, waiting to die.
What about the men who attacked you?
Oh, visibility very poor. No identification, I'm afraid.
No glimpse of their hands at all? Rings, watches, colour of their clothes?
No, nothing.
Hair oils, aftershave?
The new tangy, sexy smell for men. Chloroform. I hope you get the bastards.
I get 30 years for what they've done to you and others.
As much as that.
Minimum.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Was it the same goons as did me as did for that wretched policeman?
I've no idea yet.
They must be mad killing people
Well,
like
in
that.
this case, I think it was just sheer panic.
Milk?
Please.
Please sit down, Mr. Craddock.
Yeah.
It's only the instant stuff, I'm afraid.
Ah, thank you. You should try our canteen tea.
Oh, I did yesterday.
But would you mind if I popped up and changed?
Of course.
Darling, your clean shirt.
Yeah, on the bed.
I gather you did a bit more than just drink our tea yesterday.
Oh, heavens. I only did what I could. It's lucky I was there. I couldn't do very much, I'm afraid.
Well, I wouldn't call it not very much, almost certainly saving the sight of 2 policemen.
How are they?
Afraid one of them's not too good.
That ammonia's horrid.
From here, you must have heard quite a lot during the raid.
Oh, I wasn't here, though.
Oh, well, what did you do yesterday morning?
Well, I got up very early and I made us all breakfast. Derek was on duty, you see. And then I did some housework and, oh, yes. And then Sally had one of her goes.
Sally.
Yes, our one and only. She has awful asthma, I'm afraid.
Oh, dear.
Well, she wasn't too bad then. The trouble was she gobbled her breakfast. So I sent her up to bed and I gave her her injection. And then I went off to do the shopping. And usually I take Sally to school on the way.
Where is she now?
Oh, she's still in bed. Mercifully, she slept right through the raid. Her stuff makes her very sleepy. But then when they brought Derek back and everything, she'd one of her really bad attacks. I had to send for the doctor.
Oh, that's very worrying for you.
Yes, it is. And this place is so bad for her, really. Nothing but mist and fog. We were going to go to Rhodesia. But UDI and the jolly old government put paid to that. The latest thing's Australia. We've had tests for this and tests for that. We even had one of their security men checking up on us before Christmas. But the trouble is, you see, there aren't very many jobs available that Derek could take.
I'd like to see Sally, please.
Oh, well...
The sooner the better, as I'm here.
Yes. All right, but she mustn't get excited.
Of course not.
Right, this way, Mr. Crabbe.
Come in.
Now, Sally, darling, this
I
is...
know who it is.
Oh, well, Mr. Craddock wants you to help him. I leave you two together, then.
Nice room. Oh, I like these. You did them.
You can see my name.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. No, I just looked at the drawings and decided it was you who'd done them.
They're Cornwall, near where we go for our holidays.
There's St. Ives, I should say.
Mummy told you that.
No. Boring being stuck in bed, eh?
Yeah.
Algebra. Oh, never could do that stuff when I was at school.
It's pretty trashy, really.
Suppose you'll be taking your O-levels soon.
Next year.
What you going to be when you leave school? Painter?
I'd like to be a doctor, if I'm well enough.
Yes, I rather hope my son would be a doctor.
And he isn't.
No.
What does he do, then?
He likes music.
Pop?
Yeah.
How super! You're quite important, aren't you?
I suppose I am, really. I'm in charge of this robbery business.
From what you said on the TV last night, it's all pretty terrific.
Yeah.
Fancy. 5.5 million, all in chinky gold. Take a bit of spending.
They'll spend it all right if I don't catch him quick.
They must have been jolly clever and brave.
Clever, yes. Brave, no. They sprayed ammonia over everyone. They tripped and jerked a motorcyclist off his bike with a bit of wire. There's nothing brave about what they've done, Sally. They're cruel, wicked men.
All of them?
All of them. Sally, after you had your breakfast yesterday morning...
2 breakfasts, 8 Daddy's because he wasn't very hungry.
then you had one of your attacks, came up here and went to bed.
And Mummy gave me my injection, and I just kicked off.
No schoolwork. Between that time and when they brought your father back, did you hear anything?
I was asleep. What sort of things?
Alarm bells? Sort of bangs?
Bangs?
Several loud bangs.
No, I didn't hear anything. Sorry.
Pity. Bye now. Charming daughter.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, not much help, I'm afraid.
No, but thank you very much all the same.
Now, you will let us know if there's anything we can do to help.
Yes, I will. If you want to get away from it all, why don't you pop over and have a drink sometime?
Yes.
Very kind of you.
Anytime you like. Bye.
Bye for now.
Goodbye, Mr. Craddock.
Supercop seems almost human.
Oh.
Wasting a lot of film as usual? They're quite recent, since the rain. They don't belong to Mr. Hartford's car or the ambulance. There are one or two other cars about, though, aren't there?
This area was cordoned off by 11 yesterday, sir.
Don't let me put you off.
You won't, sir.
You're a jammy bastard, Dick. That's halfway to being a detective. Suppose you'll have to blow up about 5 Jaguars before you can work out how they did it.
No, I know what did it, sir. There you are, that's what did the trick. There are 303 through the petrol tank.
Could ballistics tell the actual rifle use from this?
Oh, I doubt it, too distorted. But from the angle and position of the penetration of the boot of the car, we can tell, roughly, from where the shot was fired. Have a look at the map, I'll show you. Now, you see, there's the Jag. Now, these two radiating lines and a line across there give the only field of fire from which the shot could have been fired.
Any idea of the range?
30, 40 yards? The gunman must have used a silencer.
Supposing he didn't, what range then?
200, 250.
Come on, have a look at the view. I don't think the gunman needed to use a silencer, do you?
No, he didn't, did he?
I need your help, Sally, to catch all these robbers.
The man on the radio said lots of people have come forward and sent messages and things.
Yes, but not all of them, not some of those who could help most. Oh, I know some people just don't want to get involved, but some, they're just frightened. I know how they feel.
How do you know?
I've often felt the same.
You have.
When I was about your age, I used to go through a park on my way to school. And there was always an old woman sitting on a bench, reading a newspaper through a magnifying glass.
How funny.
Well, one day, for a dare, I went up to her and asked her the time. And do you know what she did? She looked at me through her magnifying glass, and all I could see was one great, big, awful eye. After that, we left her alone. We thought she was a witch. And then one day, a month or two later, when I was coming home from school, I saw a man hit her, steal her bag, and run off with it. I never told anyone.
Not even your parents?
You're the first person I've ever told about it, Sally.
Oh, and Jones, you can remove those ropes now.
Right, sir. Hey, Tommy, search this garden with a fine-tooth comb. Get Dick and his gang up onto the landing. Photographs, fingerprints, the lot.
Right away.
Somebody walked into this house and fired a gun from that window. How does he know that? But the answer is he doesn't.
Suppose we oughtn't to leave the doors open. Does sound a bit far-fetched.
It's more than a bit far-fetched. It's bloody ridiculous.
Afraid I'm going to make myself a bit of a nuisance.
As I heard, one of the advantages of paper walls. Thank you for telling us first.
Mr. Craddock must do his job.
He's just guessing, aren't you?
Just following up all possible leads.
Look, my dear fellow, I'm not a detective, but don't expect us to believe somebody walked into this house, used it as a firing range without anybody hearing it. Oh, good God, Sally was just a few feet away.
I know.
Even if she hasn't told you, I think she would have told us.
I hope she still may.
Are you accusing my daughter?
Darling,
Well, I think it's a bit bloody rough. Doesn't it matter to you that the girl is sick and you're making a condition a great deal worse? Sally.
I did hear the bangs, and I did see the man. I'm sorry I lied to you, Mr. Craddock.
Why the devil didn't you tell us?
I'm sorry, Daddy. I'm sorry, Mummy.
That's all right, darling.
Oh, God.
Darling, doesn't matter.
Of course it damn well matters.
I think it matters a good deal that Sally's been such a brave girl. Come on, Sally. You're the sort of person I really need on my side. Let's go and play detectives. You don't mind, do you? Excuse us.
Darling, it's no good getting all worked up about it.
Supposing that gunman comes back here and finds out about Sally. What's he going to do to her? Have you thought about that?
I think this is the best one so far. His face was a bit sort of craggy.
What was the cap made of?
Sort of a Macintosh stuff, I think.
Better write that in, eh? Now, you're sure it wasn't a long sort of bag?
No, it was this sort of shape. So it must have been one of those guns that came to bits, mustn't it?
Yes, it mustn't it? The last place the gunman will come back to is here. I'll see no harm comes to Sally, I promise you that.
I thought you said your men weren't going to do any damage.
Well, have they?
Only broken off most of the daffodils. Now they're crushing the crocus beneath their tiny feet.
Oh, I'm very sorry indeed, really.
Sit down, relax, relax. Now, don't you worry. I'll put in a hefty claim. Anyway, I hope we're out of this bloody country before the daffodils come up.
You've made a great hit with Sally, Mr. Craddock. She's as happy as a sandboy playing detectives.
Good. You're hoping to emigrate to Australia soon?
Sooner I can get the mud of England off my feet, the better. My hard work's not exactly appreciated here.
Oh, you don't think it's really true, that, do you?
It's a bit old-fashioned, a bit patriotic, isn't it? I suppose you've got that in your book of rules.
No, but I've got a certain loyalty just the same.
Have you, my dear fellow? Well, I haven't, not anymore. People don't want loyalty and good service. It's all junk now. They just want faceless creatures, adequate, competent computers. People they can use or throw in a scrap heap just as the fancy takes them.
I don't think Mr. Craddock really wants to hear all this, Derek.
He asked me.
Funny, I would have said you were the exact opposite.
It's a cardinal error to put people into categories, my dear old boy. I'll tell you what flag waving does for you. Follow the colours, and let's all volunteer. It's all very well when there's a war on, but afterwards, one day you look into a mirror and you think to yourself, good old England, land of no hope, no glory, no freedom, no appreciation, taxed out of existence. My wife is making urgent signals to me to shut up. She's heard all this before.
Yes, I have. I'd almost forgotten about your men. Do you think they'd like some coffee and biscuits?
You'd make yourself very popular.
I'll do it.
Oh.
I'll do it.
Oh, thank you, darling.
Give Mr. Craddock a proper drink. He needs one after that sermon.
Well, how about that drink?
Not for me, thank you.
He isn't really like that, you know.
I'm sure he isn't.
You spare a minute, huh?
Excuse me.
We found this in the garden.
Conference in my office in half an hour.
Sally, more powder, please.
Careful, Daddy! I'll take it.
Thanks very much, sir.
It's fabulous. We're finding absolutely billions of fingerprints.
Most of them yours, I should think.
Oh, sorry, Dick. I just remembered. Man was wearing gloves.
Your ballistics bloke ought to get something out of that, eh?
Yes, indeed. Yes, we can tell absolutely which gun fired the shot. Once you had the gun.
Yes, well, being a take-down rifle must narrow the field.
To about 6,000, I should imagine, in this country.
Well, get cracking on it anyway.
Right, sir. Good night, sir.
Night. Hey, get that out of the press, people, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Ah, what does that mean?
Well, the evenings haven't been so nice. Seen him howling for results.
Evenings.
I know, but they're not a bad barometer.
Tommy, some other time, eh?
Oh, Mary phoned.
What, here?
Yeah. She was just checking it was all right about tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
You were meant to be having dinner there, Terry's birthday.
But she expects me to go all the way up to Hounslow for dinner in the middle of this.
It's in your diary.
Oh, ring her up, will you? Try and explain. She won't understand, but try.
Don't you think? You?
No.
Have you got him a present?
You know bloody well I haven't got him a present.
What shall I get him?
Couple of ounces of cannabis and a hairnet. That's about the mark for my precious lad, isn't it? Take that chapel elder look off your face. Just give him the cash. Oh, while you're about it, get a nice box of watercolours, some paper, drawing paper, you know, really good stuff.
Beads for the natives.
You mind your own business.
Big case, this. Complicated. Lots of different angles.
Oh, Tommy, for God's sake.
You're spending a lot of time over there?
Yes.
You've got plenty of men well able to do whatever it is you're doing there. Maybe you ought to be out looking for other leads.
Oh, don't tell me.
That's just the sort of remark you're going to get from the governor, isn't it?
You know, you're wasted, Tommy. You ought to be a bloody gossip column. Somebody fired a rifle through that window on target, split-second timing, right? I want to know how he knew it could work inside that house undisturbed. That's what I've been doing over there, trying to sort it out. Why don't he just climb a tree? Why that house? I'm looking for something. Just one hard fact.
Mummy, look! Gosh.
How kind of Mr. Craddock. Oh, look! He's out in the garden. Run out and thank him now, quickly, before he goes.
Thank you so much for this super present, Mr. Craddock.
Oh, you're on the payroll now, Sally. Do you know cut off that branch?
Oh, yes, Daddy did it. He was hiding all the sun from the daffodils. Took ages. Daddy hates sawing.
When was that?
Last Sunday, actually. I helped him cut the branches up for firewood.
I expect it's let a bit more light onto the landing.
Ah, yes, golly, you could hardly see out of that window before.
Seven sightings altogether. Tell me when he comes in. Expect him any minute. Thanks.
Would you come in here, please, Mr. Hartford?
I suppose you do realize I'm on duty.
So am I. But as I'm informed there's no air traffic this morning, I felt your time was rather less valuable than mine. Just a few things I want to tidy up. You don't mind answering one or two more questions, do you?
Would it matter if I did?
You do realize you're in rather an uncertain situation at the moment.
What does that mean?
Means you'd better start taking me seriously, Mr. Hartford. I've got some questions and I want some answers.
Yes, you have asked a few, haven't you? Tidying things up.
If you were planning a robbery as professionally as this one was planned, would you leave it to chance that you could put out of action the air traffic controller, the vital nerve center of the airfield, before he could reach the alarm button?
I'm not a professional robbery planner, I'm sorry.
Yes, well, I wouldn't. I'd make sure he was on my side first.
Oh, pity you didn't plan it.
You usually eat a good breakfast, don't you? But not on that morning. You didn't touch it. Couldn't you have been anticipating the chloroform? Saving yourself an extra bout of vomit?
You're joking.
I am not. All right, this man, the sniper. How did he know the exact layout of the inside of your house? He thinks it's going to be empty. In he goes through the door, up the stairs, along the corridor, and there's the window.
I don't know. I expect he'd been watching the house for weeks. Isn't that what burglars do?
Yes, but that wouldn't tell him the exact spot to fire the gun from. And wasn't it lucky for him that you cut down that branch?
What branch?
Oh, the branch that you, who hate sawing, cut down on the Sunday before the raid. That branch outside the landing window.
It was keeping the sun off the daffodils.
It also covers the sniper's field of fire. One, no breakfast. Two, sniper knows layout of house and exact habits of family. Three, branch cut down by you. Now mix those up with a man who's been resentful of the police from the outset, and you might come up with an accomplice who's guilty, trying to carry things off.
Mix it up another way and you might come up with a stupid, pig-headed policeman who's trying to make something out of nothing. These boys have got away with it and you're left holding the baby. Well, don't try and railroad me, chum, or you'll get more than you bargained for.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. Any lawyer would laugh you out of court, and you know it. You haven't got two dots you can put together.
Oh, haven't I? And what are you getting so excited about?
Because you're looking for a scapegoat, and it's not going to be me, my friend. I'll answer any questions you like, but don't try and trick me so that you can get me into court because you can't find the real criminals. May I have a look at the control tower logbook for that morning, if you please? Thank you. Oh, 0809 hours. Unidentified Bristol freighter. Sighted flying east-west. 2 miles, 2,000 feet. My last entry. I gather from the newspapers that you believe that the pirate plane was a Bristol. Probably that one. I mean, there weren't too many of them swanning around the sky on that cold winter's morning, were there? Now, if I were in cahoots with the robbers, do you think I'd be a big enough bloody idiot as to put that into the logbook? Now, stop pushing me.
Shall I get him back? Perhaps he has a point there.
About my being a stupid, pig-headed policeman.
No.
Well, the log. Hell, they wouldn't have told him about the freighter.
No. about any lawyer laughing you out of court. It's not enough.
No, not yet. But I'm only just starting to get interested in Mr. Derek Hartford. Let's see that form of engagement. Who were his referees? Past experience, jobs. Yeah, here we are. Vice Marshal Sir Leonard Thackeray.
He died just recently.
Richard Ainsley Bolt, Chairman and Managing Director of Victor Airlines.
Of course, Hartford was a pilot for Victor after the war.
I'm going to London.
But you can't go to London. You can't go, not
Oh,
today.
don't you try and railroad me, you stupid pig-headed policeman.
Hello, darling. Aren't you on duty?
I've got to go up to London. John Cellier's taking over. Bloody filling has come out and it's giving me hell.
Oh, darling, how maddening.
Afraid I'll have to take the car. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's all right. Sally can get a lift back with Mrs. Phillips. Here you are. Poor love.
Bye.
Take care.
He was one of my real heroes. He must have been 20, 21 at the time. He looked about 15. Very quiet. Fine pilot. Not one of your wizard-prying Battle of Britain boys. I was a bit older than he was. They wouldn't let me fly because of my dud ear. Do you want anything of this?
Water, please.
We were in the Pacific, on carriers, last few months of the war. One day, Derek Hartford went out on recce as usual. That day, he found the Japs, and they found him. He went on signaling, calm as cucumber, even when he was in the drink under intense fire. That was his DSC. Do you know all that, Asma?
Official records don't tell us much, I'm afraid.
He never really got over it. I don't mean physically. Cheers.
Cheers.
He came to Victor as a pilot in the early days. Didn't work. Nerve gone. Have a cigar.
No, thank you.
And he went off on a controller's course. After that, I rather lost touch with him. I remember going to his wedding. Very pretty girl.
He still is. You kept in touch enough to give him a reference?
Oh, no, just. He had a bit of trouble. Somewhere up in the Midlands. Charter plane, overshot and crashed. The inquiry dragged on for ages. I think he was cleared, but you know how it is. No smoke without fire. He was on his way up, never got any further. I saw him again at one of our annual squadron dues. Sad, bitter man. Ever thus do we treat our heroes.
What date was that?
64, 65.
Oh, that's when you gave him the reference.
I don't believe in kicking a good man when he's done. Any objections?
None.
He wanted to emigrate. Rhodesia, I think, is it?
He was in control at Westmarsh on the morning of the raid.
I guess he must have been. Let me get you another drink.
No more for me.
No, never. No, he might murder a man to save his wife from being raped, but that robbery, never. Not Derek Hartford. Straight to die. I'd stake that road on it.
This way, please, Mr. Hartford.
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to sit in the chair?
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Comfortable?
Yes, thank you.
Keep quite still, Mr. Hartford. Just look at the lamp. Don't move if you value your life. Now, Mr. Hartford, this emergency of yours, how close are the police to you?
Too damn close for my liking. Craddock's guessed about the chloroform, the sniper, everything.
Guessed?
He's trying to break me. I don't think I can hold out much longer.
Oh, if you think he's going to break you, I'm afraid we'll break you first, but into much smaller pieces, wherever you are. And then we'll break your wife, and we'll break your daughter.
For God's sake, do something. Can't you get us out of here?
Yes, of course we can. A lot of strings have been pulled for you, Mr. Hartford. But do remember, we can pull those strings tighter and tighter whenever we want. So, why don't you help us to forget all about you, hmm? If you jog our memory once more, you won't get a second chance.
Just give me one. But be quick about it.
But we are being quick about it, Mr. Hartford. Really, you know, you must try and pull yourself together. You were once a hero. Remember?
Surfer's Paradise! What a fabulous name!
It's not very far from where we're going to be, you know.
Really? Fantastic. Hey, Dad, do you think there'll be many sharks and things there?
Of course not, you stupid nuts.
Hey, Mummy, we can go surfing and skiing and everything.
Yes,
it's near where we'll be.
Bedtime now.
Oh, Mummy.
Come on, darling. You can take these up with you and look at them in bed if you like.
Can I? Oh, Mummy, isn't it super? Isn't it absolutely super?
Yes, darling, it is.
I'll see you later.
Yeah, I can't wait to get there.
It's pretty super, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is. Could I have a drink, please?
Well, don't fall over backwards, will you? I mean, it's just about the best break I ever had, that's all.
But why so suddenly? Derek, why do we have to leave so quickly?
I told you, it's all part of the deal.
Well, couldn't Sally and I come out later?
You're coming with me. I've got the tickets. Everything is arranged. Don't you believe me?
No. I know you too well, Derek. I know when you're lying. I don't believe you went near Australia House. You certainly didn't go near the dentist. You hadn't even an appointment. I phoned them.
Spying on me.
No, I merely wanted you to pick up a dress that's being altered for me while you were in town. Oh, I've been pushing this away for days, trying not to think about it.
I suppose Craddock hasn't been away.
No. Were you mixed up in that raid? You were, weren't you? Tell me, Derek, you must.
You won't let go, will you? What sort of future was this? Stuck here in this hole. No prospects. Scrimping and scraping over everything.
We managed, didn't we?
Managed? Oh, yes, we managed. But you don't understand, darling. I didn't do it for us. I did it for Sally. I've never been able to give her what she needed. And every day... Well, she's not getting any better, is she? One day it's going to affect her heart. I just couldn't stand by and watch her. When the chance came, I took it. That's all there is to it, except... everything I am, everything I've ever believed in, I've gone against it all. But I'd do it again.
I'm not sure I'm coming with you, Derek.
Oh, darling, please, 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 please. Think of Sally. I was.
Shall be sorry to get back to London and get out of this place.
What about Hartford?
What about him?
Gone cold on him?
No, I have not. Operator! Get me Mr. Hartford, will you?
Sir, you know we had 6 or 7 local sightings of British rail vans between 7:30 and 8:30 on the day of the robbery?
Yes.
Well, none of the depots around here had any out on that day.
Well, that'll give you something to think about when we've gone, won't it?
Mr. Hartford's line is engaged, sir.
Keep the call in.
Yes, sir.
Well, Hartford's resigned, you know, sir.
No, I didn't know. We'll call in on him.
Get me the transport manager, railway station.
Come on! Come on!
Daddy, I haven't got my paper.
Never mind, we'll send that on later. Come on, in. Right, Heathrow driver.
Morning, Sally.
Hello, Mr. Craddock.
Good morning.
Isn't it super? We're off to Australia.
I've got some bad news for you. Sally's the only witness of that gunman. She can't leave the country, I'm sorry.
Oh, Mummy, don't leave me.
I won't. I'll stay with you.
Daddy?
I hope it'll only be for a couple of weeks. Don't worry about luggage or tickets. I'll arrange that.
Thank you for giving us so much notice.
Got away with it.
See his face?
No doubt there.
No doubt at all. He'll fall in our basket when he's ripe.
And the Hartford family will be broken forever.
They're broken already.